Christmas has come and gone, and with the new year just right around the corner, it's the perfect time to reflect on 2024 and share my top 3 releases of this year. But I won't be making this video alone. For this special video, I've invited 2 amazing friends of mine who also happen to be YouTubers to join in the fun as well. A huge thank you to Spin Ice and Shay Rants for being part of this New Year's celebration. Be sure to check out the channels below, which I will link in the description below. Thank you for watching. We're gonna get right into it with our movies, and it's gonna start off with me right off the bat. I'm gonna have Look Back, which released earlier this year around the summer, and I just put it on my top 3 just because I think it's very creative in the way like it expresses a story about an artist, a like manga creator, these kind of things, and it handles topics, very serious topics, in a very unique way where it's very, I guess, told in a very interesting perspective. So we're gonna pass it on to Shay really quick. So what's your third pick?
So my third pick for movies this year was Terrifier 3. It's an insane sequel to the previous movie. Definitely builds upon everything they did. And it's got some insane gore and violence in the movie, which I didn't expect.
That is facts. Terrifier 3 bangs.
Yeah.
And then next we have Sippin' Ice with our very third pick as well.
Okay, so for me, like you, Naoki, my video was released in the summertime, but unlike you, mine was not serious whatsoever. My 3 pick is Deadpool and Wolverine.
I like it. I like it.
Now, it's
That
not
film
my
was so
favorite
good.
Deadpool movie, but it's really fun. Like, the plot's a little all over the place, but I'm okay with that because it's kind of like a Deadpool movie. That's like how I would envision him if he made his own movie.
Got it.
And the cameos alone makes the movie phenomenal. You know, you had like Human Torch and everything up in there.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check it out because I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's very good, man.
And then with
Yeah,
that,
it was
sorry, go ahead.
it was like in cinema experiences this year.
Yeah, it was such a good time.
Not bad. I liked it. I like the choices. I'll hand it off to you to do the second pick as well.
Okay, so with my second pick, similar to Shay, my number 2 is Terrifier 3. The movie was off the wall insane, and I enjoyed Terrifier 2 a lot, but where Terrifier 2 differs from Terrifier 3 is that Terrifier 3's story was a huge upgrade, and it expanded on a lot more of the lore behind Art the Clown and whatnot. And like Terrifier 2, it's extremely gory, so it's a very niche movie. Like, if you like those types of movies, you're going to love it. And David Howard Thornton had a phenomenal performance, as well as Lauren Lavera. So it's all around fun movie.
Next up, we have Shay as well with the second pick.
So my number 2 is Longlegs. It's an insane movie. It's not like a horror movie, it's more like a detective thriller. And I mean, Nicolas Cage is amazing in the movie, and not only is the movie amazing, but whoever they hired for marketing with this movie, movie like quadrupled his budget in like a weekend.
Not bad. I like it. I like it.
I do agree. The marketing for that movie is crazy good, but at the same time, I think it failed it a little bit because it kind of turned people off of it when it was released. Because, like you said, it was more of like a crime thriller and stuff. But the marketing made it seem like it's gonna be the next terrifying, most over the top scary movie, and that's not really what it was going for.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing ride, and Macon Monroe and Nicolas Cage killed it.
So my second pick was something that I didn't think I would put on here. I'm not really a big fan of horror, but my second pick is going to be Late Night with the Devil. Shay and both Ice told me to watch this movie, and I instantly fell in love with it. Just with the way that the like analog horror is presented, it's a very unique way of telling a story. It feels like we're watching like a show in like the 70s, and then we can go back to like the back scene of like everything going on before like the commercial break and things like that. It's a very unique way of telling a story, and I honestly loved it a lot.
Oh yeah, that movie is such a good one. Yeah, and like you said, it's a unique film too. That's what I really liked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It was really interesting. We were watching it the other day with you. It was really fun.
It's unique. I like it. And then I'm gonna jump right into the first one, and I have The Wild Robot. I think out of all the movies that I watched this year, this one just blew me away because it's a story that can be enjoyed with everyone, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, family, parents, etc. I I think it can be enjoyed by everyone, and it has a very unique message to whoever is watching this movie.
Man, that does
Yeah,
sound awesome. You should make a video about that. Wink, wink.
Shay, what's your first pick?
So my number one for the year was The Substance. It's an insane body horror movie with a great message. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley give great performances. Probably scariest part of the movie is spoilers. Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. The close-ups made me so uncomfortable. Which honestly quite surprising in a body horror movie. The certain part was a guy eating shrimp.
Yeah, that's a wild scene, by the way. As soon as you said Dennis Quaid eating the shrimp, I immediately had visuals of that scene.
I know you've been telling me about this movie for a little bit, and I don't know if I'll watch it, but I know you two have been telling me a lot about this film, so maybe I might.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but I'll consider it.
It's definitely a good time.
So-
I won't lie. Like Shay said, it has a great message behind it.
I was gonna say, so that's probably a no.
We'll see what happens. And then I think with that, I'm gonna pass it on to Ice with his very first pick.
Okay, so my number one pick from the movie category is a surprising entry for me. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, but it's Alien Romulus.
Okay.
Because a lot of the Alien movies haven't really been my cup of tea, but this entry, it was just everything I wanted most of the other movies to be and more. So love to see it. The atmosphere was great. A lot of the characters were well written, because a lot of times in horror movies, sometimes the characters just aren't written well. But these characters were written well, and it was a good time with some sad moments.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it was not a bad film. I loved it.
Yeah, and then the ending too was something crazy.
Okay, and then with that being said, we have our very next category, which is gonna be songs. I'm gonna start right off the bat with our number third pick. It's gonna be Nothing Promised by the album Corday, dropped earlier this year. I think Corday has something special. He's shown this talent before in his very first album, and I think it's an artist that I've been following for a couple years now, and I think he's gonna have a lot of talent on the next years that follow. So I'm very excited to see where his career goes.
I do like Corday as well, by the way. I have to mention that Corday is very underrated.
I think so too. And then Shay, what's your second pick? Or sorry, third pick?
So, I'm very different from you guys with music. I can already tell. So, my third pick for song is Kool-Aid by Bring Me the Horizon. It's so good. They're probably my favorite band at the moment. Right. And I love the vocals in this song. The backing and everything's really well done. And I love the switch after the first chorus where it just goes straight into screams. It's really well done.
And what about you
I
guys?
won't lie. I've enjoyed a couple Bring Me the Horizon songs, so I might have to give Kool-Aid a listen.
Let's go.
And Ice, what's your third pick?
So for me, it's going to be more similar to Naoki's lane right now. Is going to be Luther by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And typically, he's not my favorite, but this song right here was just really good. I won't lie. I like the beat. I like SZA is great in it as well. It's a good time. It's it's a good song. I have it in my workout playlist.
Good stuff. So I'm gonna just go along with that. That's my second pick. So I just gonna jump right into it. I just like this song a lot because every song that SZA is in, like as a feature, has like mostly the second artist or the feature artist like just shine whoever is performing. But this one, it's a little bit different in particular, just because like they both really work well together. And there's a tour coming up next year as well, the Super Bowl. So I'm very excited to see what happens live. And then Shay, what's your second pick?
So, my second pick for songs is one of my other favorite bands. This whole song's about their history and everything, and it's got some great lyrics in there. And the chorus is really catchy.
All right, so my number 2 song is from an artist that's pretty small in size in comparison to a lot of the others that we're listing. And it's a song called Screaming Inside by Shyler. Don't know if you guys even heard of that guy before, but it's such a good song. And speaking of Screaming Inside, he's released before, but his 2024 version is a remix and like a remastered of it, where it's just a better version of it, because the first time he did it, it was one of his first songs he ever released. So now he's kind of like got into his own flow and found out what he likes.
And then I'll just leave it off to you to finish off with our very first pick.
So for me, my number 1 song is actually a Lil Peep song that came out like today, I think. So it is actually called Kisses in the Wind. It features Lil Peep and Lil Tracy. And for me, if they're both in a song together, I'm more than likely going to like that song.
Man, I like it. I like it. I'm gonna have to check it out later. And then Shay,
It's a banger, dog. I won't lie to you.
And then Shay, what about you?
So my number one song is another Bring Me the Horizon song. It's NA. It's about the lead singer's time in rehab. It's really well done. It's got some new vocal work in there. It's got like another switch in there. The song has a switch where like the first half is kind of like a more like British rock kind of like grungy feel. Then like it just switches to like a straight metal song, and it's really nice.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't listened to them much, but I'm definitely have to check it out later. And then I'm gonna finish off with our very first pick. This one was hard to pick, I can't lie. And me, I've been listening to this artist for years, ever since like middle school. So it holds like a special place to me. And that's gonna have to be River from the collab album Ye and Ty Dolla $ign, which is gonna be the Vultures 1 and Vultures 2 collab. River has a special place in this album and in this list just because like it has that old school Ye feel amongst this like huge category of different songs that kind of sort of feel out of place, but in terms of all the like songs, this one just has that old school Ye vibe that I really like a lot, and I hope we get to see in the future as well. So that's probably gonna have to be my first pick. And then
I respect it, man. I respect it. I actually haven't heard that song, but I might check it out.
unique one. It's a unique one.
Okay.
That's all I can say. And then right off bat, we're gonna have our next category, which is gonna be albums. Let's start off with mine. My third pick is gonna be Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia. This album was extremely unique. All the features that are in this album are very different. They bring something unique to the table. Like Lil Wayne is a secret like hidden verse out of, I believe, Sticky, and everything that was like released in this album was such a unique sound and a very different like sound that we hear from Tyler the Creator compared to like his different tracks. So I really like it a lot, and it's gonna be on my third pick. And then Shay, what about you?
All right, so my number three is Linkin Park's From Zero. I'm still not the biggest fan of the new lead singer, because Chester was my guy and he's my favorite vocalist of all time, but I still like it. It's got some really good vocal work on it from both Emily and Mike. And even though it is my number three, it is just a bit of a messy album because it feels like a different song from a different era of Linkin Park, and it doesn't really flow properly for me.
That makes sense, understandable. And then what about you, Ice? Your third pick?
All right, so for me, it's going to sound like I'm a very big Peep fan, but my third album is Lil Peep Part 1. It just released relatively soon, and it's called Part 1, so I'm hoping there's a Part 2. A lot of the songs on there, or a couple of the songs, are songs that he released back in the day, but again, there's some of them like remastered and stuff, but there are some unreleased tracks on there, and a lot of them give me old school Peep vibes. And that's what I like, because I like a lot of his old songs. So it's nice to get some of that, as sad as it is, because he's also gone.
Yeah, understandable. And then I'll let you cue up your second on the list as well.
All right, good. So my music taste is kind of all over the place. So my second album is titled Paradise State of Mind.
I respect that.
It's by the band Foster the People. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, but they're an amazing band. And it's more, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's more chill music, if that makes any sense. It's music you can just kind of just play and just kind of vibe to.
You're gonna have to send me some because I've never heard of them, but I'll take a look.
Oh, I'll send you some, buddy. Trust.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite bands.
Good to hear. And then what about you, Shay?
So my number two is definitely going to be different for you guys because I don't think you'll listen to this review of music with the review. So my number two is Noctiluce's You Would Go Before You're Supposed To. It's some great vocal work on there. It's got some really good features and singles. My favorite is, of course, Suffocate featuring Poppy that they actually performed on. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel podcast for that, which was hilarious. It's really, really well done. It's got some great songs and everything, and it's just so fun.
My second pick on this is gonna be GNX by Kendrick Lamar. This one was a surprise album, and it really caught me off guard because there's no like album rollout or anything going on. It just kind of dropped out of nowhere at like 9 in the morning, I think, or something. So I was very pleasantly surprised, and just to hear just new sounds from him, and with the whole like hip hop beef that happened earlier this year, it's great to hear like almost like a follow up of what happened. And overall, I just really liked it. Really great album.
Yeah. Oh, also, real quick, Naoki, are you excited about Kendrick going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I'm sure there's gonna be like features, probably SZA, who knows who. I would like to see Ye, obviously, but I doubt it. But
Yeah, I doubt it. I won't lie.
but I'd like to see what happens because I'm very excited to see
Yeah.
who they bring up for the
I'm
Super
excited
Bowl.
as well to see Kendrick perform at the Super Bowl. I think it could be really good.
I think so. I think so. And then yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into our very first pick, and it's something that I never thought I was gonna put on my number one list, and it's gonna be Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechi. She released this album earlier this year. I want to say like summer, fall-ish, and I like it a lot just because she has this like very unique sound where she takes inspiration by a bunch of different artists. There's a little bit of like Miss Elliott in there. There's a little bit of like Doja Cat as well. It's a very unique album, and this like sound is like very punchy feeling. It's unique, it's different, and it's something that I never thought I would hear from her. So I would say it's probably my number one list.
Respect.
Thank you, thank you. And then what about you, Shay?
For me, my number one is Bring Me the Horizon's Post Team and Next Gen. It's an incredible album. I know that some people don't like it, but I think it's great. The people who don't like it are going to be the people who think that they should just stick to like straight deathcore and stuff like that. But I think it is one of their best albums. It works really well. The vocals in it are amazing. It's got some great songs, some great features. The last song is one of my favorites. Dig it. It's so emotional, and I really love it.
Might have to check that one out.
And what about you guys?
So for me, I might butcher this word, so bear with me on that. But it's called Shinigami by Shyler. It's pretty banger. I can't lie. It's a playlist. Oh, it's an album that I have completely in my workout playlist. Every song is in the playlist. They all can help you get that pump going. It's so fun.
I'm gonna check it out. I've never heard of this album, but I'm gonna check it out.
You're in for a good time then.
Gotcha, good to know. And then our very last category in this list, we have shows as well. I'm gonna jump right into it with Squid Games Part 2 as my number 3 pick. I haven't quite finished it, unfortunately, but I am a little bit over halfway, and I just like where the direction is going. I won't say much about it, just because, again, I haven't finished it, but I liked where the direction's going. I like the fact that we get to hear more of like the like background of like what happens in the game, the like inner talkings of the like red people mask or pink suits, whatever you want to call it. And I just like to hear more of the actual like background of the game going on. And then we're gonna jump off to the third pick of Shay's list. So what's your pick?
So the third pick for my list is The Penguin. It's a great show. It's got some really, really good writing and incredible acting. I'm really the biggest fan of the big man. So it was a bit too long for me. But Farrell, he did a great job as the Penguin. I'm excited to see where the universe goes next.
So for me, like you, my number 3 pick, I haven't yet fully finished. I love the direction it's going, and it's making me really excited for the future. And that show is Creature Commandos. Like I said, I haven't finished it yet, but I like the characters. I like the story that it's trying to tell, and I like that it's actually exciting me for the DCU because I like the direction the show's going, and so it gives me hope that the rest of the DCU is going to be up to that par. So it has me excited for the future.
And then what about your second pick?
So my second pick is a show that is a little gory from time to time. It's The Boys Season 4. So The Boys has been one of my favorite shows of all time for a while now, back up until Season 1. And it follows like, what if superheroes weren't so good? You know, what if they were just kind of mean? And I love that aspect. And it's cool seeing them almost like mess with like other superheroes that are obviously they take an inspiration from. Like you got the Deep, who's obviously supposed to be Aquaman, and it's funny just seeing them do this and that. And then you got the great storytelling, and you got the boys that are trying to take out the superheroes. It's a good time with some amazing cast.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I know I've been hearing a lot about it, but you did mention it's gory, so I may have to skip it. We'll see.
Well, the whole show is not gory. There's just moments where it gets gory.
Got it. Good to know. Well, we'll see.
But it's a very good show. It's worth watching.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, and then what about you, Shay? Your second pick?
So my second pick is Chucky Season 3 Part 2 because it was sadly split into 2 parts. That means I get to include technically Season 3 of Chucky on this list. So It's really cool. It's a great continuation. I think it's better than the second season. The second season was kind of a dip in quality, went a bit too comedic for me. This is kind of like that balance, like between seriousness and comedic, Chucky. And I'm really annoyed that they cancelled the show because it ends on a cliffhanger, and now I have to wait like another year until we get the movie in 2026.
Ooh, got it. Good to hear.
Cliffhangers, I can't stand a cliffhanger.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I grew up watching The Walking Dead, and you would have a cliffhanger every couple episodes. It was rough.
And then so my second pick is gonna be Arcane. I haven't finished this one, although with how it's going, I really liked it a lot. Unfortunately, not as great as like the first season, and I say that just because I feel like we get to hear a lot of the story. Still a really good story overall, and I think the whole like team of League of Legends, they adapted a game into a show really well, and it's really unique as a standalone. I've actually personally never played League of Legends, so it's very hard for me to say where like where it's right, like lore accurate wise. But just as a standalone, I like it a lot, and I really like where it's going. And then I'm gonna jump off right into my very first pick, and it's a very interesting choice. I have Mushoku Tensei Part 2 for my very first choice on this list. I think overall the like message we get to hear on Part 2 is very like focused in terms of like just becoming a better person overall. The like lessons you learned as from like a young age, just maturing in general. It's a story of like how, someone who may have been depressed or whatever you want to call it learns these lessons as life moves on and just becomes a better person overall. So in that aspect, I liked it a lot, and that's gonna be my first pick. And then what about you, Shay?
Well, my number one pick, start to the DCU. It's really fun. James Gunn, it delivers. He's a genius. I do really love the characters, the music as well. He's always great with soundtracks. The animation is really, really nice, and I'm really interested to see where the story goes. Because as I'm recording this, we end on season 1, episode 5. The whole season isn't even out yet, and I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Alright, good to hear, good to hear. And we did start that not too long ago, so I'm definitely gonna have to try catching up when I have the time.
Yeah.
And then what about you, Ice?
Okay, so my number one is Peak, okay? I don't want to hear anything else about that. No, but my number one is going to be Solo Leveling. It's such a fun, good time of, yeah, the story might not be perfect, but it's just good, dude. The animation style's phenomenal. The voice acting, phenomenal. It's just, it just pumps you up. It's a fun time. There's nothing to complain about.
All right, it's a good choice. I like it. I like it. So let's pretty much finish up our list. I'm gonna throw in a really quick honorable mention. If you had to pick any honorable mention, like game, music, movie of this year, what would it be for you, Ice?
If I had to pick a honorable mention, I probably would go with Late Night with the Devil, one of your entries earlier. It's a really good movie with some really good storytelling and some amazing cinematography.
Thank you for that. And then what about you, Shay?
You're welcome.
So, to pick an honorable mention, it would be it's such a fun movie. It's comedic. It's all, and it's just hilarious.
Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. My first honorable mention. So this is gonna be a really unique title. I was stuck between either choosing Wukong, the game, or Balatro, the game as well. Balatro extremely addicting. But Balatro, I can't lie, extremely addicting. But Wukong itself is just such a unique breath of air in terms of like gaming. You get a story, you get the music, you get boss fights. Everything that you wanted in the game is just neatly packaged into like a small little condensed, or not even small, sorry, but a well condensed game that I really loved this year. And I unfortunately got a little bit sad that it didn't win Game of the Year, but it's a really great game. Music is overall amazing. I unfortunately did not finish it. I'm extremely close to it. I actually don't want to finish it just because like I know I'm gonna miss it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Respect.
So that's really our top 3 lists. Let us know in the comment section below. I'm gonna post both of their channels in the description as well if you want to watch the videos, anything. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being in this special video, you two. Anything else you want to say?
Thank
before we
you.
go?
Anytime, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you.